As of right now, it seems that I'm being attacked from every corner of the internet, and depending on who you ask, some would say it's quite well deserved. Now, this isn't anything new to me. I've been cancelled 3 times before, and I'm sure it'll happen again in my comedy career. It seems to me whenever you post stand-up clips online, whoever wasn't there at the show that night, when they see them, they react very differently to how people would react in the confines of a comedy venue, a comedy event, or a comedy show. I understand that some people are really, really mad at me right now. And if I genuinely hurt you from what I said, then that's horrifying. I don't do this to hurt people. The only reason I do stand up is to make people laugh. And oftentimes I joke about the worst things imaginable. And we try to find humor in them. So here's what happened. Last week, I created a new TikTok account because my other one got banned because I made fun of a vegan lady. Anyway, and I put up a few stand-up clips, and I put up one stand-up clip in particular. This was a stand-up clip with the worst jokes that I've ever written about Aboriginal people. They are deliberately bad, horrible, bad taste, dark jokes. That is the whole point of them. Now, in this 1 minute clip, and it's 1 minute long because it was made for YouTube Shorts, it doesn't provide any context into what's happening there. You can't really grasp the feeling of the audience, the fact that they've got to know me for 40 minutes throughout this show and they know that I'm not a horrible racist piece of shit just saying these things to hurt people. That's all lost when something pops up on TikTok or Instagram, or someone sends it to you and you just see this white dude, this piece of shit, having a crack at your people. So I understand why people are very, very mad. But let's watch the clip so we're all on the same page.
It's so easy to write Aboriginal jokes. They write themselves. The most Aboriginal word in the world, corroboree, has the word robbery in it. White people in Australia never really culturally appropriated Aboriginal culture because there's nothing that we really wanted except for the kids. Let's be honest, we never looked at tapping sticks and thought, oh, fuck, we need those. I thought I'd never seen Aboriginal pornography before. And on top of that, I thought I'd never seen an Aboriginal pornographic magazine. It turns out I have. It's just known as a different name, National Geographic magazine, all right? One more, this is the piece de resistance. Have you ever seen a transgender Aboriginal... Of course you haven't. They're hard to spot because the ladies already look like blokes. There you go.
Okay, so the initial reaction to that from the internet was basically they thought it was quite funny, okay? Much like the people who I did this show to over the past 12 months or so. They found it funny. A lot of Aboriginal people themselves thought it was quite humorous. Now, once it got a bit of virality behind it, a lot of people weighed in and they absolutely hated it. But what I think a lot of people missed is we're not laughing at Aboriginal people here. We're laughing about how fucked up the joke is itself. That is what is funny about it. It's you sit there and you see this dude on stage and he says the most outrageous thing ever and you laugh because it's fucking horrifying. If people sat there and they agreed with that and they're like, yeah, that's true, then that's fucked up. That's racist. But I don't think a comedian on stage telling a joke about a racial stereotype is inherently racist. What matters here is an intent. Did I intend to hurt people and harm a group of people because I don't like them? No. That is insane. Madness. And as the day went on yesterday, I found that the reactions went from some people finding it funny, some people not finding it funny, to all-out war on me. This guy said, wait till your next show. It's getting shot up. Should have thought of that before you took the piss out of Aboriginals. Trigger warning to mob. For fuck's sake, can't even have one day without vile, hateful, disgusting, racist assholes shitting on us. Being Aboriginal in this country is exhausting. Comedian or not, this is gross. Let's band together and report this pathetic racist scumbag and make his Instagram and TikTok disappear. Erase his big platform that allows for this shit. You're an ugly motherfucker. Thinking you're funny and shit, white, disrespectful, regnet cunts. Hope you get flogged or half killed for all I care. Do the world a favour, you ugly mutt. You fucking idiot. These jokes are horrible, bro. I'm a white fella and these jokes are horrible. I'm a comedian. I've been doing it for long, but I've lost all respect for you. Like, this went on. It's crazy, bruh. You need a good slap in the mouth, that bloke said. Sleep with one eye open. Like, that's some full-on stuff. Talib said, and this guy was on Maths, Married at First Sight, he goes, only thing right in itself will be your obituary. Sounds like a weird threat, mate. Even Clementine Ford weighed in on it and said the funniest thing about this loser is that he was booked to do a comedy special for Netflix, but they cancelled it. It wasn't with Netflix, but the media ran with that. Anyway, that's fine. I copped it from everywhere. Like, it was crazy. I was getting hundreds of DMs a minute, even from some very well-known people I really respect, which that really brought it home, because I felt like those people knew me well enough to know that that's not the person I am at all. And here's the thing, if you want my actual opinion on First Nations people, Aboriginal people, Indigenous people, then all you have to do is look at the plethora of things that I've said in public, like on my podcast just last week. I had it with a good mate of mine, Indigenous brother, Derek Vale. He was here, and we were talking about all the things that affect Aboriginal people, from racism, from the way that the stolen generation and caused trauma and still affects Aboriginal people today, to changing the date. All of those things we've sat here and we talked about for almost 2 hours. These are not my actual opinions. They are jokes. That was 1 minute from a fucking 80-minute show in front of 1,000 people who knew that everything I was saying on stage is bullshit. It is not real. It is pretend. Like, I'm not one of these comedians who goes out there and tries to make points about climate change and all that shit. People know that. That's why they come and see me. They come and see me because they know that I'm going to push the boundaries and talk absolute horrible shit about different people. Not just Aboriginal people, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. It is everyone. All right? Men, women, different genders, sexualities, everything. You have to attack everything. If you attack one group, if I made a show all about Aboriginal people, then yeah, I'd be a fucking piece of shit. But that's not what I did at all. But I only posted that 1 minute thing because YouTube Shorts, you can only post a minute. Thankfully, I have the whole show, which I'd like to show to you now, to give you a bit of an idea of the context of the actual jokes themselves, and how I set them up, and how I delivered them, and how I acknowledged how horrifying they are.
And I walk over to you and I say this, right? And I say, je pense que t'as chipulis moi. Wouldn't you just melt? Of course you would. But what I really said is, your pussy stinks, please leave. It's a great language. And it makes everything gorgeous.
This is me talking about how the French accent makes everything romantic.
It turns the worst 2 accents in the world into something wonderful. The worst 2 accents go as follows: the white Australian accent and the Aboriginal accent. I'm sorry to the Aboriginal people in the crowd. But there's nothing sexy during the throes of passion for you to whisper into your lovely partner's ear, fuck off, you dumb dog. It's just not. Even in French, bonjour, just stupid. It's not that good. And then it's us filthy whiteys. Like 200 years ago, when we turned up and borrowed the land. When we turned up, we were all speaking like this. Oh, yes, good afternoon, madam. Would you like another cup of tea? What happened? Now we're all fucking like, oh, come and fuck me, cunt! What happened?
Okay, so we're comparing the 2 accents, all right? The 2 worst accents, or the way people speak in the world. The white Australian accent and the Aboriginal accent. So this is just comparing 2, and how French may say one, or... It's a silly little joke about some stereotypical things that people would say if they were part of those cultures: white Australia culture, Aboriginal culture. Not all Aboriginal people say fuck off, you dumb dog, and not all Australian people go say come on fuck me, cunt, like that, and talk like a mad bogan. They're stereotypes. That's why people laughed.
Apparently you're not supposed to tell Aboriginal jokes, and I think that's a bit fucked up, right? Because I feel like we should joke about everyone, and
which is very true. You're not allowed to do that. And I don't know. I just feel like we should attack everyone equally. That's just my opinion on it. I then went on a bit of a rant to someone in the audience who kept interrupting, but I got back into it.
God, how long have I got? Get me off this fucking thing. You're not allowed to tell Aboriginal jokes, so I thought, let's try and get me cancelled one more time. All right?
And everyone in the crowd is like, okay, we're going to strap ourselves in because these are going to be horrible, they're going to be mean, they're going to be disgusting, but they are not real. All right? We're going to see, the whole point of this is if I can tell a joke that is so bad that even I look at myself and think, fuck, I deserve all the death threats. And then I get into the jokes that you've just seen. And this is how that bit ends.
You haven't. They're hard to spot because the ladies already look like blokes. There you go. Horrible. I'm a white dog and I'm very aware of it.
Now, I know that I shouldn't have to defend comedy because I know a lot of people watching this just go, yeah, he doesn't actually believe that. Like, that's ridiculous. What crazy person believes those horrible things? But I feel like sometimes you've got to defend it a little bit. You've got to say, well, mate, we go out there on stage and we try to make people laugh. And sometimes we say horrible things to make people laugh, and people laugh at horrible things all the time. We laugh about cancer, we laugh about the Holocaust. And I know a lot of people sitting there probably watching this going, no one laughs about that. Mate, they do. You just saw it then. I travelled all around the country doing those jokes and people laughed every single time. I didn't have one complaint. I just feel like when it goes viral that people don't understand context and they don't understand what happens during a comedy show. I think that's maybe because a lot of people have never seen comedy, they've never been to an event, they don't know what it's actually like, they've just seen what they've seen on the TV. I will continue to do shows like this, not aimed at one target people, but aimed at everybody. If I think it's funny, then I will do it. And not because I want to see people hurt or see people leave or see people get upset. No. It's just to make people laugh. In the same vein that if an Aboriginal dude made jokes about white people, I would laugh if they were funny. All right? And here's the thing. If you don't enjoy any of this, you absolutely do not have to watch me. Don't. Don't watch me. I don't want to upset you. Just don't watch me. It's as simple as that. Even that bit that I did there was a little bit shortened. I was running out of time. I was on stage for too long. I spoke to the audience too much. They were carrying on. So I thought I'd also show you a few seconds of what the start and the setup of that joke is supposed to sound like. I've got it recorded. I record all of my sets. I like to tell Aboriginal jokes as people freak out, right? And as we discussed tonight, we should be able to joke about absolutely everything. Because these are pretend. I don't actually feel this way about things. It's just good to be around a group of like-minded people who say fucked up things but don't actually mean it. Maybe Wayne does. But people don't normally mean it, right? So what I've decided to do is build something for you, because I like to get cancelled every year. This is called the cancel culture cake. We're going to start down the bottom, a bit of a base layer. We're going to build and build and build until even I go, fuck. Here come the death threats. Let's start low, let's start slow. It's easy to write Aboriginal jokes, they write themselves. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, here is the facts of this. If you are an Aboriginal person, I respect your culture and you, but I also respect you enough to make jokes about you. And I know that sounds weird, but I really do mean that. I will make jokes about absolutely everybody, and I'm not going to not do it because some people might be upset or I'm going to be cancelled. No. And you also might think that all the people that laughed at that were just white people in the crowds. No. Brown people, black people, white people, different religions, different genders, sexualities, everything. Everyone comes to these shows and we all have a laugh because we all agree that what's being said on stage is just there to make you laugh. It's not to make a point. There's no political point. It would be different if I went up on stage and I was a political representative of somewhere and said those horrible things. Then you'd think, yes, what a racist piece of shit. But no, that is not the case. The reason I'm making this video is because people are going with the racist angle. I am now this racist comedian. Fuck, man, that's not me. That's not me at all. And if you took 5 minutes to get to know me or ever listen to anything I've ever said on race, then you'd know that that's not the case. I'm interested to know your thoughts in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's a bit of a shit situation that so many people get upset, but it is what it is. It is what happens. So I wish you all the very best. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.